Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on this new end scene. We're going to go up to File and create a new scene. And we're going to go to Save As so we can rename our menu for this end scene menu. We're going to go ahead and name it End Menu. Make sure it's in Assets and then go ahead and hit Save. Right, next we need to add a game object, and this is going to be a canvas of text. So we're going to go up to the game object menu, go down to the UI option and select text. And that will give you a new canvas with text, and then you can go ahead and click on the text box and slide over here to the inspector window on the right where it says text in the text field there, and you could type in the text that you want for this end menu. So this will be text that displays on the screen for the end menu that you're creating for your game project. And in this case, what I'm going to do is put "well done, you've managed to escape the island." And then I'm going to go ahead and change the width with the width and height parameters up here. So that'll be 600 by 200, 600 for the width, 200 for the height. Then you can come down here and center your text both horizontally and vertically within that text box. In the space here, we can change the font size, and in this case we're going to go ahead and change the font size to 40. We're going to reposition our text and center it in the canvas window. So now we get good positioning of the text to display within our canvas. Then we're going to go ahead and create a new game object UI menu again, and we're going to create a button, and this button we're going to go ahead and reposition so it's not over top of our text. And you can change the button color, position, font size on the button, and customize your button to have the text be and look like whatever you need for your game feel. In this case, I'm going with a white background for the button, a lighter color, and then we're going to go with black for the text to keep fairly high contrast for our text display. So next we're going to go ahead and we're going to create this new game object, and this new game object is going to house the script. So you need a game object to house the script for this menu management, and you may just want to name it menu management so that your script can work for multiple menus instead of just the end script like I've got here. Leave some flexibility within your naming, so if you want to use the same script and add a couple different methods in the script for, say, your starting menu and this end menu, then maybe name it menu management instead of end script, so it's not dealing with just the end of the game but maybe all the menus within your game. So those are some design decisions that you can make as the builder of your game. And then of course you want to drop the script onto the game object. And this game object you can see is housing the script over here in the inspector window. And then of course make sure that as you make these changes to your game, that you're also saving these changes in your game. So just for clarity's sake, I'm using the File menu and hitting Save. The other thing that you can check as you're working on these menus is that they're appearing in your build settings. So this is on the File menu, going to Build Settings, and checking my scenes to make sure that my scenes are in this build. So this end scene needs to be added to the scenes folder, and then I can go ahead and add that to my build settings as well. If I go down here, it's now showing up in the build settings. So just making sure that everything's there as the game is compiled and built. As you finish up the project, you'll want to definitely make sure that you've got it in the build settings. So once you've got that, you may want to save again. And now we need to go ahead and head over to this button and take a look at our script and go ahead and program the script. So we want to have a couple different methods in the script. We're going to go with one method that we put in the previous video, which is load the main game, and you put in whatever scene you want to load when you click that button, load main game. In this project or video on the end scene portion, I'm doing another method that's called restart game, so that once the game ends, the player has the ability to go back and restart the game by clicking on this restart game method. So once I've got the restart game method in the code block laid out, I'm going to use the scene manager to load the original scene and go ahead and restart the game once it ends. So if you notice, I have renamed my script menu management to go ahead and give that flexibility. And then this is going to take you back, or take the player back to the start menu and load that scene, which we did in the previous video. So if you want to see how to do the start menu, you can go back to that other video and watch the start menu splash screen menu and see how to build that and add that with this load main game method that we've got up above in the script on line 20. Alright, we've got the script and a couple methods in the script for loading the different menus. So make sure that you save the script so that it updates over in Unity. And then once you save that script, it'll update in Unity. We can then go over here to this on-click command, and we've now got a restart game option that will load for our button. So now we've programmed or assigned the button that when this button is clicked on, it's going to load the restart game method or execute the method that will then restart the game back to the start menu for the player. So that takes care of kind of linking our pieces together between the button and the menus. And now it's time to go ahead and edit our text on the button to display something more descriptive for the player. So I'm just going to say click to restart game, and that will clue the player that they can click here to restart the game. And then once they do, it will take them back to that start menu. So make sure you save your changes. That will save the text that we've changed on the button. It will also save our script that we've updated. And now I'm going to go back and update a couple things on the start menu that I didn't take the time to do in the previous video for the start menu. So we need to add some text here on our canvas. So we're going to use the game object menu again, do a UI text box, and add some descriptive text to display on the screen here for the player. So I've got the text box here. Again, it's positioning and getting it laid out how you want for your game project. We can resize the text box. We can change the text in the text box. So we're going to go to the text first and open that up so you can see the text box there. To change the text, and then I'm going to go ahead and edit these width and height parameters for the text box so that it matches the other menu of 600 by 200. Change the text size to 40 and then center it both horizontally and vertically. Now that I've got everything set up with parameters and got it sized and centered how I want it, I'm going to go ahead and type in some text that will display. This is again on the start menu. So the start menu, I want the player to know that for this game I want them to collect 4 boxes before the time runs out, and then they also need to collect 4 gas cans in order to escape the island, which is my second scene of my game. So at this point I've got some text that'll display on the screen. I've resized it, and now I'm ready to change the color and maybe lighten it up a little bit, add some elements for contrast. You can look at using color schemes that work for your theme or style of your game project. And then what I also want to do is move this button and reposition it. And then I'm also going to change the text and the background color of the button to kind of match the button that we did earlier with the end scene. So I've selected the button, and then in the inspector window over here on the right, I'm going to head down and I'm going to change both the background and the text. So I'm going to change the background first and lighten that up. And then I'm going to come over here to the text field in the inspector window, and I'm going to type in a description for the player so that they know this button needs to be clicked to start the game. So it simply says click to start game. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and save my changes to the project, and let's go ahead and give our project a test at this point. So we can click the button, and the button works to load our first scene of the game. So it loaded and executed that first method. So hope you enjoyed the project. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.